Hello and welcome to the Andyplex, the podcast where we talk about films we love with creatives and also hear their journeys. I'm your host, Andy Majorano, and this is episode 44, Drolet at to Rest. Returning after last episode's Tokyo Gore Police to talk about her journey is podcaster, writer, and horror aficionado, Amy Drolet. And yeah, let's talk your journey. Where did it all begin? Where were you birthed?
Oh, goodness.
Let's go all the way back.
All the way back. I was born in downtown Atlanta, 1986. It should have been a July 4th baby, but I've been a procrastinator since birth.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
86.
86.
It was a good year.
Good year. That's when Aliens came out. That's when Platoon came out.
So when you were born.
That's when I was born. Hello. Woo! Oh, God, I'm going to come off like a narcissist.
No way. Impossible. You are not. But you certainly know a lot about movies, and specifically horror. When did horror become really important to you? When did that jump out? When did you say horror is where it's at? When did that happen?
Well, I can pinpoint it exactly, and we were discussing this earlier. It's, I have a tattoo on my arm of it.
Oh, so, yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
She ain't lying, guys.
Ain't lying. It was literally when I saw Jaws for the first time. 8 years old, down in Cape Coral, Florida.
Wow.
I'd been asking my dad for years, because he had it taped off TV. And he wouldn't let me. And then, for some reason, he finally said yes while we were on vacation at the beach. And, you know, that has led to a whole lot of sand castles being built. I don't really swim in the ocean. I understand the fear is irrational, but I also, it's a lifetime of fear that I'm going to have to deal with. So I like the beach. It's fine. Point is, Jaws was the first time something scared me, but in a way that I was excited and curious about, and because I was a very anxious child. Like, a lot of things scared me very easily. I was terrified of gremlins. I was terrified of the Dark Crystal.
Oh my goodness.
Dude,
the Skeksis?
The Skeksis. I would hide
Horrifying.
from them
That
under
still
my
scares
covers.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still hide from them every night. They're really scary.
They're really scary, bird lizard people. Oh my God. Exactly. And
what's his name? Chamberlain?
Chamberlain.
He's actually one of the good guys, but he's still kind of scary.
He's still pretty scary.
Sorry, Chamberlain.
But I mean, let's get a little full disclosure. The first time I was sent to therapy was because we were listening to scary stories on tape in 4th grade. It was around Halloween, and I got so scared that I wouldn't stop crying.
Oh.
So I was a timid fucking kid. I was literally scared of everything. But then Jaws comes along, and suddenly, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm terrified, but I'm also just strangely allured at the same time.
There's something about it that's fun.
There's something about it that's fun and interesting, and I was just so into the story. And what it comes down to for me is, I'm still afraid of a lot of things. The real world is fucking scary, but
it is.
There is one place that scares a lot of I'd say normal people.
Normies,
yeah, it scares the normies, but that is a place where I am strong. Coming from being, like, I was scared of the cover for Dead Alive at Blockbuster.
Oh man, yeah, with the little skeleton underneath the mouth.
Opening the mouth, but
the lips being pulled back.
Now that's a movie that I love and can watch with ease, and it's
such a good one.
It's one way that I've been able to conquer fear. Like, I can't control the real world, but there is this one thing that scares a lot of people away that I can do. And that's fucking horror. And, it's like, people avoid the horror genre for like a specific reason. Like they don't want to see that. It's too scary. As opposed to, I don't like Westerns or musicals because they're boring. You know, horror elicits such a primal emotion.
Such a visceral response.
Yeah, and it's one place where I'm the tough one.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you get me
You're on my turf now.
Yeah, this is my fucking territory, but then, you know, you get me in the real world and, you know, put me in a party where I don't know anybody and I am just
Oh man, that's true horror right there.
That's real horror. Fuck that.
Yeah. Nobody? You gotta bring one friend with you.
Yeah.
Or you know somebody from the New Bev or something.
I hope.
Yeah, so you're also a horror podcaster.
Yes.
I just got to hear only one episode of the show, but I loved it, and it was In a Violent Nature, which I think your newest episode.
Yeah, most recent episode on the
Which is cool.
Yeah, Everything is Scary podcast.
Everything is Scary podcast with your co-host Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle Clark and usually Jen Saunderson, but she is taking a little sabbatical right now.
Okay.
And that's okay. That means I mean, we miss her and we love her, but it also means that Kyle and I can really indulge we definitely enable each other's bloodlust.
I got that from In a Violent Nature, which was really cool because I got to see that movie with you just last weekend.
Yeah.
So that was fun to have a little inside look. And that movie is really making a lot of people talk. And
yeah, and
you guys really got into it, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
And you kind of took both sides of the coin, and
yeah, and that's one thing I like about Kyle is he can really offer. I can be kind of.
Are you the good cop? Are you the bad cop? Who's the good cop?
I'm probably the bad cop. I'm just like, where's the blood? I need more blood. That wasn't enough blood, or some shit like that. And
yeah.
Kyle has, dare I say, slightly more elevated thinking, or I don't know. Maybe I'm just being hard on myself, but
what if it's an elevator movie like? What's that one? Devil or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Is that elevated?
That's
so bad.
Well, that depends. Did it go down or up? I will allow it.
And if an escalator is not working, it's just stairs. So
yeah, nothing's escalating.
There's no escalation. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you for indulging my horrible joke.
That is okay. I'm an English major, and I never met a pun I didn't love.
They call me the Punisher. I dole them out. No, I really liked your show, and as a host, I really you guys are awesome. You're really good. You're a really good host, and really get into it. And you've recommended so many horror movies I hadn't even heard of, and it was very very fitting that we covered a foreign horror on the show. The last episode, if you guys haven't heard it, you got to check it out. Tokyo Gore Police. Wow, what a blowout movie that needs to be seen. It's on Tubi right now, so check it out there.
Yeah, thank you for letting me pick.
Yeah, of course. No, I always let my my guest co-hosts pick, and I have learned so much and have become so aware of so many movies that I would never have probably have heard of otherwise. So it's good for me. I end up learning the most.
Aww.
They say if you really want to learn, be a teacher, right? So
yeah.
If you want to learn about film, be a film host on a podcast, because and it's so you, and it was a perfect pick.
Yeah, I made it a point when you started letting me pick movies. It's like, all right, not that I didn't want to take it easy. I wanted to show you, okay, this is what I'm about. Are you about it? Okay.
Well, after the first one, we were like, all right, Amy's just going to pick every time. We were kind of doing the Saturday Club for a while. It was like Mike Vieira, me, you, Blake. And yeah, I think we were all just like, yeah, let Amy pick.
Oh,
we're good. But you were kind of feeling us out, see how far you could
how far
press the gas.
Yeah. Am I doing too much? Although I do have a list of movies that I'm not gonna show you. Like,
okay,
yeah, because
they're too far.
They're too far, and I don't want to be held responsible for your emotional response.
To pick up my therapist bill.
Yeah, like, Your Tokyo Gore Police, like, I'll go more splatter, more Queen of Black Magic.
Those are great.
But I won't go certain places, and
Yeah.
it's more like, I'm going to need you to find that on your own. Like, please don't associate that with me. Also, I want y'all to like me. If I disturb you too much, then they might worry.
Yeah. No, there's no worry of that happening. We love you. You're a Plex celebrity, and it's good to have you on the show finally, and I hope we can have you back already.
Aw.
I'll talk to your manager and make sure I can book you out.
My people will call your people. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I'm so glad we could finally do this.
I know. It's so cool. And it's cool to get under the hood a little bit. Under the head hood of Amy Drolet.
It is as bloody as you would imagine.
Okay, so Jaws, you were 8.
Jaws, I was 8.
And then from there, where did the hunger, the appetite, if we're going to go shark metaphors here, where did that, the blood in the water, where did that lead you next? What was the next bit?
You're not far off. I kind of stuck to, like, big animal movies. Jurassic Park was kind of a big one.
Nice, yeah, it was a big one.
And then I slowly made my way towards
Spielberg.
Oh yeah. Spielberg was my buddy.
He's the best.
He's the best.
He's awesome.
He's the best. Like, fucking hell.
He's one of the goats. There's a reason.
But then I made my way to Evil Dead.
Oh, hell yeah.
And number one, I met I guess I have like 4 true loves, but one of them is Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. Huge fan.
Oh, yeah.
Have his book over there on the shelf, If Chins Could Kill.
Oh, I've got his second book.
Oh, that's right. He has another one.
Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way.
Oh, man. I got to read it.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Shoot, I haven't read that one yet. I have read the other one like 4 times, though. What a guy that guy is.
Oh, God. He's such a hoot. Like, he signed my book in person, and he was doing a book tour, and standing in line, like, in the first, like, chunk of like 20 people to go in. I think that's the closest I've ever been to genuine hysteria, because I was just so happy that you almost feel like you're going to lose your mind for a second. But then I calmed down, and I did not freak out when I met him, and then I freaked out afterwards, and yeah.
I would too.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Legend.
But long story shorter, Evil Dead, and especially Evil Dead 2, that's what cued me into, I like gore.
Yeah.
Like, I am really drawn to this. I am drawn to, the visuals itself. I am drawn to how the fuck did they do that? And Evil Dead 2 just laid the foundation for my love of splatter. Both post and pre-Evil Dead 2. Like I was saying in the previous episode, splatter started in the 60s, and it sent me back in that direction, and fucking, of course, the effects aren't as good, but it's so fucking fun and hokey, and they're just trying nasty, out there shit.
Yeah.
And, splatter led me to Tokyo Gore Police, but I also love the body horror, and...
Yeah, we were talking about in the episode how it was the body horror of Cronenberg and Videodrome, and those elements were there as well. And
basically the more I've been left to my own devices and given access, there's an amazing video rental place in Atlanta, still open. Dear God, if I ever win the lottery, I'm going to give them so much money so they can never close. But they're called Videodrome, if you're ever in.
Oh my goodness.
If you're ever in ATL. But
I'm moving there today.
Oh my God, it's so
because of this. News.
I love it so much, and they had such an amazing cult section, and basically once I got past Evil Dead, I really started to find my way. And
got your footing.
Yeah, and my footing got more intense over time. Like, I'm really curious. Yeah, I want to push the weird, the violence. I want to see how far it can go. It's interesting testing your own boundaries, because it's like I'm both thrilled by it and also quite upset when when you hit a boundary, it's literally like walking into a wall and like breaking your nose. It's like, oh, fuck, I found it. I found the boundary.
Yeah,
Ooh.
flying a little too close to the sun there and got a little burned.
Yeah.
Takes its toll, but then the calluses form over those.
Oh, yeah,
and then you go in for more, and
then you never stay gone for long. You come crawling back.
You come back. I'm the same way.
But one of my...
We sound like junkies.
I know.
That's okay.
It's fine. You have a problem, not me.
Yeah,
Whatever.
no, you're doing really good. I'm the one that...
I'm fine.
You seem great. I'm not doing well.
But,
No, we're both killing it.
Woo! But I mentioned Videodrome because I think one of my really defining moments as a person happened there. It's when I went in and I picked up Cannibal Holocaust for the first time. I brought it up there. I, slid it across the desk. And the guy said, "Are you sure you want to watch this? It's pretty intense." And I said, "Yes."
Oh, I'm sure.
"Yes, sir, I am."
Yeah.
And...
that just made you want to watch it even more, probably.
It made me want to watch it more because it was a fucking challenge. That's the fun of the horror genre.
Right.
It's, I double dog dare you to watch this kind of thing. Yeah. And, for better or worse, it's a real up and down adventure, but it's an adventure. And I just see, like, I am really soft in real life. I don't like seeing roadkill. I don't think I could ever tour the catacombs of Paris because fucking claustrophobia, number one. Number two, bodies everywhere, bones. Oh my fucking God.
Real.
Yeah, no, don't give me anything real.
I know.
But put me in Hellraiser world. Put me in Texas Chainsaw, Indonesian, fucking black magic shit, and I'm safe. I know this shit. My tummy might feel weird, but I know this shit.
You're home.
I'm home.
Yeah,
I'm home.
yeah. No, I love that. And you said something really profound and cool in the last episode about Tokyo Gore Police, where the excessive gore elements and the blood and the splatter helps kind of soften the blow of the allegorical, satirical elements that are actually quite biting and quite like, oh man, yeah, I kind of live in a police state a little bit here in the States. And we were talking about how in 2008 in Japan they were hitting notes that were really resonating now in post 2020 America.
Yeah.
And if it was just a straight up documentary about that, you might probably wouldn't want to assimilate that data. But because it's in this kind of fun splatter palette, you're able to digest the lesson.
Yeah.
And take it in.
No, and I think you're exactly totally right, because I prefer learning something from a movie like this as opposed to a more realistic, a little more, I don't know, on the nose about what the message is. Like,
right.
When horror goes like really real life,
Not feeling it.
It's like, this is just something I can see anytime in the real world.
Yeah, you can turn on the news.
Yeah, I can turn on the news, and it's like, give me another way to see this.
Yeah.
That, you can teach me the same thing, but you don't leave me with like, oh God, humanity is doomed to consume itself. Well, maybe a little, but but like I leave something like Tokyo Gore Police, like, fuck, corruption in the police state and all that. Like, I'm aware of it, but I'm also fucking pumped up about everything else I've seen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just when horror gets really, like, there's nothing wrong with the bleakness, whatever, but I feel like when horror gets really, really nihilistic and just says, like, this is reality, it's like, we fucking know.
I know. We want a little getaway.
Yeah, and, I think that's part of why Evil Dead really spoke to me, because it's just, it's goofy, but it's also creepy, but it's, again, it's that unbridled creativity.
Yes.
And also, man, that chin. Woo!
If chins could kill.
Oh my God, and it has. I know it has.
No, yes, the unbridled creativity, and you're getting this visual language, and there's something to this. And I saw Army of Darkness first, and I think it was circa 2000, and it was on Sci-Fi Channel where I'd watched a lot of things, and I literally caught it right from the beginning on Sci-Fi, so there were commercials and whatnot, but I remember I made it through the first commercial break, and I had the remote in my hand, and I almost changed it.
Yeah.
In a very close quantum reality to our own, I did not finish watching Army Darlings that day. But I'd never heard of it. No one told me about it. And by like the second commercial break, I put the remote down. I was like, I'm watching this whole movie. I'm on board. I'd never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, even out of context, that's the Sam Raimi energy.
Yes.
Like that's what makes his shit really special.
Absolutely.
And that is why Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, especially that last chunk, delights the hell out of me.
I loved it.
Loved it.
And he really got to Raimi out.
Yeah, and I think that's why I have such a fondness for like these Japanese and like Indonesian splatter directors. It's like because they get to Raimi out just a bit more, like
right.
Raimi's got to do a few superhero movies, make that money, and then Raimi the fuck out too.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think Drag Me to Hell. I consider it Evil Dead 4.
Yeah,
because he'd just done Spider-Man 3, and he said, I just want to go back into my roots, and and yeah, he had definitely
come back
money.
home.
Come back home, yeah. Come to that well, and I love that movie too. It's a good one. And it walks that fun line where it's like not quite like all dread and scares, but it is quite scary.
Yeah.
But then there's these kind of wink moments, but it's so well done. And obviously his love of Three Stooges and the physical gags and that all really comes through. And I remember, I'll never forget seeing it in the theater and the part where Alison Lohman like accidentally knocks the body over of the gypsy lady that curses her.
Yeah.
And the embalming fluid is like pouring into her mouth. And it's so gross. But I am just cackling my ass off, and there was a couple next to me, a young couple, and they turned to me and looked at me like I was like a serial killer. They're like,
yeah,
how? But I'm like, this is Raimi,
That's how the normies look at you.
Yeah, they're like, this guy is sick. This is the sickest human being I've ever had to sit next to in a movie. But I mean, what a ride! I mean, he makes like these fun rides, and I think Spielberg does the same thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of a ride, if I may quote JP. But yeah, so Evil Dead, and then when did you say, okay, I maybe want to write, or I want to pursue like a life in the kind of film world? Was there a moment where like, I want to go to LA? When did that kind of start manifesting itself?
Oh gosh, well, I knew I wanted to write as soon as I realized that I couldn't grow up to be a cat. So, around like...
never say never.
Yeah, well, there's still time. And
yeah. Genetics have come a long way.
They have. I mean, yeah, look at what we just watched. No, I've always been a writer. It's just one of the things, like, I can draw okay, cannot sing, but I can write shit. And it's also always been like my personal therapy. Everything feels a little better once I've put that shit down on paper. Mm-hmm. And I honestly, my big sister was in LA first.
Okay.
Yeah, there are 3 Drolet sisters. The big one got here first.
3?
Oh yeah, I'm the middle one.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm the black sheep / emotional buffer. It's the middle child is kind of an odd thing. It's a lot of things. Yeah. But
I saw Malcolm in the Middle, and they touched on a lot of those.
Yeah.
I don't know if that resonated with you at all.
Oh, it did. It definitely did.
I was just one of 2, so I was the older.
You had it so easy.
I had it easy, yeah. I did.
The burden of the family equilibrium. Anyway.
Sorry, Amy.
It's okay.
You're stronger and better for it.
That's why I watch such fucked up horror movies. I've gotten tough.
Yeah, there you go.
But, yeah, big sister was out here, and she offered a few times. I was living in Atlanta, where I'm from, and I think I got it in my head like I couldn't do it. Like, it's fucking LA, Atlanta's a big city, but it's almost like LA's baby sister. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd visited, I found it really overwhelming. I mean, cool, but overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then one day it just sort of clicked. It's like, I had what I like to call just a fuck it moment.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, this is so, what if I don't do this and blah, 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 blah. Wait, what if, fuck it, let's do it.
Who cares?
And yeah, it's like a little switch.
At some point you just
got flicked and
just gotta jump.
Yeah, and
head first.
Yeah, and it's been such an adventure, in many ways, in many good and bad ways. But coming out here has just been kind of amazing, and I got to meet my co-host Kyle, who not only is a great co-host and trivia host, but he's also a very good friend.
Yeah,
and
find your people.
I really found my people, and
absolutely.
now regular horror trivia gang, and I've also reached a point where, and I think it's fair to reveal this to you now, I think I'm going to be writing a book on cannibal movies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard on your last episode you were talking about all your cannibal movies you wanted to watch.
So it started off with, like, I was trying to figure out what's the first cannibal movie. And I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I started thinking, well, there's no comprehensive list of cannibal movies out there.
Did all the copies eat themselves?
Possibly. I would not put it past them. It'd be very fitting. But, so I started making
You can use that joke in your book if you want.
Aw, thank you.
It's gonna kill.
Ah, you did it again.
It's fun. I didn't even mean it there.
That's okay. You're a poet.
Didn't know it. Okay, sorry. I keep interrupting you.
That's okay.
No, that's so cool.
Yeah, well, I was like...
I want to read it.
Oh, thank you.
Go write it right now so I can read it.
Yeah, it's just gonna be fun. I mean, right? It's gonna take a minute to research because I'm making the list. I want to make a list of all of them, as many as I can find.
Yeah. What was the first?
The first was, we think, Kingdom of the Cannibals.
Okay.
Which is a 1908 short.
Oh my goodness, it's going back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm going back. Like I love research, and I just sort of, I love just knowing. I love making lists, and I'll just like knowing things. Like, where did this thing start?
Yeah.
And but I don't just want to have a list of movies. I want to get into what are the different types of cannibal movies. You got your jungle cannibal, you've got your slasher cannibal, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then you've got your, I'm not sure what to call it, but your classy cannibals, like your Silence of the Lambs.
Hannibal, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
names that rhyme with cannibal.
Exactly.
That's classy.
Yeah. But then you've got, like, survival cannibal movies, like fucking Alive.
Alive, yeah. That bugs me. That really bugs me.
Yeah. Well, no, that's
just like, would I be able to, if survival were a factor,
Well,
just having to be in that situation. It's terrifying.
And that's something that I want to write about, because literally the word cannibal, as it turns out, it came about in, like, the time of Christopher Columbus, when the Spanish were coming in and, colonizing.
Yes.
And there was a group of islands called the Carib Islands. And so the Carib people were called Caribal, which meant flesh-eating people of the Carib Island. Oh. It was invented as a fear tactic and as justification for colonizing. So literally the word was, meant to instill fear. Wow. And when it came to the, I believe, Uruguayan soccer team that went down in Alive.
Yep.
When they were rescued, it was a fucking worldwide scandal that they had committed cannibalism. And it wasn't until I'm not sure if it was one or all of them said, but at least one of them said, we thought of it as like the Eucharist. We thought of it like Christ's Last Supper, giving his body so that we may
carry
live.
On. Yeah,
he had to invoke the name of Jesus Christ himself to get people on board. Yeah, to get people to like forgive them, because that such is
the stigma. The
stigma and the power of cannibalism. It is like it's something that it might not be, completely universal, but particularly to, an American audience, it is like unforgivable. No matter the circumstance.
The line has been crossed.
A line has been crossed, but that's what makes cannibal movies, which are, they're zombie movies, but the people are alive. But that's what makes it worse.
Yeah, I know. They're not. They're of sound mind, but it's I honestly I remember hearing about Alive well before I saw it. I mean, a decade or two before I saw it. I only saw it maybe 10 years ago, and I heard about it when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And the idea of the movie existing and then it being based off a real thing, and then to go back to my favorite horror, The Shining, when they talk about cannibalism at the beginning, with the Dahmer party, and then how Danny saw it on the television. That whole part. And that sets the stage for the tension that's going to happen down the road, and the breakdown of the family, and that line being crossed where, it wasn't cannibalism, but like the idea of a father killing his family, and that line being crossed. It was kind of a nice foreshadow there moment. But also just the idea of a little kid entertaining that idea, and then you're like the little kid and me entertaining that idea. And then even as an adult, you're like, man, would I be able to go through with this,
Yeah,
but when it's life or death,
you don't know. You don't fucking know.
You just don't know, and that's why great horror and great works of fiction we explore those themes, and that's gets us thinking in that direction. And that's the power of it, right?
Yeah. Well, remember Survival Type, the story from Creepshow?
Yes, we watched it together.
We did, and
it's based off of Stephen King's short story. Oh, it was who did the voice?
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. It was so good.
Yeah, story
this is the Shudder series. It's really quite a good series.
Oh yeah, it actually is.
There's some really good ones, and there's a frequency there, but a lot of them are really good.
Yeah.
And you can tell they don't have all the money in the world, but that one was animated, and that one bugged me.
Oh, that one gets in your head.
Yeah, it was dark.
I think it's easy to, dismiss Stephen King. He's so popular. Oh, he did, Cujo, this and this. His short stories can be fucking terrifying.
He's the king. You're not getting any resistance from me. I'm surprised we haven't mentioned him tonight. Yeah, he's... But
yeah, it's so gnarly. It's so gnarly. That story is so freaky, and it's
And you had read it, right?
Oh, yeah. Actually, co-host Kyle had read it. I forget which...
Oh, cool.
I'm not sure if it's Skeleton Crew, but it's in one of his, famous collections, but it's one of those things that just reading it turns your stomach in a unique way. It's like thought-provoking, but also it's as thought-provoking as it is stomach-churning.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, honestly, I don't think my guard was... I don't want to say I went in with my guard down, because I've learned never to...
do that.
Drop my guard with anything.
That's when they get you.
But, man, that one bugged me. And because it was just straight up one guy.
It was one guy.
He crash lands... And what was it, a bag? It was like he had like a bunch of heroin.
Yeah, he
It's like, I trade all this heroin for food right now.
Yeah, and all he can do is do heroin,
But then it's the self-cannibalism.
It's called auto-cannibalism. Yes. On my list, I have...
So that's another subgenre within the subgenre.
Only four movies that I've come across. Because I'm just doing movies, not TV. Not TV movies.
Oh, okay.
Not short films. So
you're not going to cover Survivor Type?
No. Because I have to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah. Because that opens it up to a lot else.
Yeah. Because if I get into literature, it'll never stop. Like,
yeah, right.
Like, it's going to be hard enough getting...
It's going to be a whole series.
Yeah.
Maybe your follow-up.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
After it goes bestseller.
Yay!
Which it will. I will buy every single copy. It'll be 5 million copies.
Yay! Bulk buying!
I'm going to buy them all.
But, yeah. I had another one of my, fuck it, why not moments. Just
That's
like...
if you have the passion and the fascination...
Yeah.
Obviously, you're excited about this. You're going to be excited about this. No, I'm actually, I want to read it, but I'm grateful that I don't have to write it, because that shit really bugs me. Cannibalism really bothers me. And I think there's a reason it's a taboo. You know?
Well, and there's a reason cannibal movies on any top 10 most disturbing horror movie list, there will no doubt be at least one cannibal movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's almost always Cannibal Holocaust, but...
Yeah.
But they're not wrong.
That's a good one. It's a banger.
But I think that's what drew me to the cannibal genre, is it's a challenging genre.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I've seen some things that I did not ever need to see, but it's the challenge of, can you handle this shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lonely pursuit. I don't think, I never watched this with anybody, so it's all me by myself. Actually, when I've been doing research, like, I'll do, like, an hour's worth of research, and then I'll have to watch, like, 10 episodes of The Great North or something.
Wash out the taste.
I need to hear Nick Offerman's soothing voice before I start doubting my own humanity.
Yeah. It's all about...
balance.
It's all about, balance. That's key, you know.
But...
I personally... I'm actually curious where you are in... like the Dateline and the real, what do you call it, true crime?
Oh gosh,
I'm a horror buff, and I like to think my threshold's pretty far. I like sometimes if it's just to gross out for the sake of gross out, I guess, or it's torture porny for the sake of torture porny.
Yeah.
And look, I like Saw. I liked 1 and 2. I don't consider that one. I have to revisit Hostel. I didn't think it was as inventive as it was just kind of meh. I do like Eli Roth now, though.
I do. I honestly have... He's really grown on me.
He has. He's grown on me. It's funny. We actually bumped into him at the... walking into the Creep Show house with Blake, your boyfriend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It
was at the Universal Horror Nights.
I ran past him once at the New Beverly because I really had to get to the bathroom.
You're like, sorry, Eli.
Sorry, out of the way, Eli!
You're in the way, buddy.
Yeah, Eli Roth and Ty West were there, and I was just barreling past them like, I'm sorry!
Sorry, boys. I love your work. I gotta pee.
I have to pee so bad.
The true horror when you have to pee and there's no bathrooms.
Yeah.
But the Dateline stuff and the true horror, that stuff really bugs me. And again, I think we talked about this in the last episode, like when it's real... it's just not...
Yeah, real can be...
Even if it's poorly acted reenactments and it's cheesy and there's a voiceover and it's like, he watched as his own son brutally strangled him to death. It still bothers me.
That's a great voice.
Oh, thanks. I know. I need to get on there.
So...
It's my calling. Dateline voiceover guy.
Yeah. Serious, man.
Yeah, seriously. No, yeah, for sure. Can I use you as a reference?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I've seen him do it.
He's good.
He's good.
He scared the shit out of me.
So my dad was a prosecutor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he actually, his most famous case was the Wayne Williams child murders case. And it was before I was born.
Not familiar with that one.
A lot of people aren't, which is, kind of... I don't know. I never know what to think about it, but there are lots of serial killers that just outside of their state, region, whatever, a lot of people don't hear about them.
Yeah. They didn't make a movie out of them yet.
I mean, they made a TV movie, but again, regional.
Yeah.
In early 80s, like I said, I was born in 86, and I believe the trial wrapped up in 82, so my dad was part of the prosecution team. It was 5 guys, and he was in charge of presenting evidence and closing arguments. And so, when you got a dad like that, I just, I kind of got into the true crime a little early too. Like, it just,
Yeah.
you know.
You had that angle.
I had that angle too, and I was.
Your dad seems really fun and cool too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
From what I've heard.
Oh, yeah. My dad rocks, and like, he's still giving interviews about the Wayne Williams case.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And it's, yeah, completely wild. But let's just say I was exposed early. And,
yes, yeah.
And so, yeah, lots of serial killer books growing up. Just really fascinated with the dark side of humanity.
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, all past things, all past, you know, your Dahmers, your Gacy, your Jack the Ripper, your Ed Gein. When it comes to modern stuff, I don't think I can do that very well. And,
yeah.
And it's odd, like, as I was listening to shit ton more true crime during the pandemic, you know, during lockdown and everything. But then I think I reached a point where I was like paying attention to the news too much, and I couldn't carry that weight collectively.
Yeah. I know, it was a really challenging time.
Yeah, and that's why horror
We had a lot to process.
We had a lot to process. It's like, I don't think I can process what this pedophile, incestuous family, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't take that weight along with, I can't take too much reality.
Yeah.
Too much truth. Give me Leatherface.
Yes.
Give me, you know, fucking, you know, flying zombie monkeys. I don't care, but
yeah,
reality's fucked. Let's not go there.
I had a full-on anxiety attack, and it was August of 2020, and it was the race riots were happening, and friends of mine were going out in LA. There was the big up and down Melrose. Mm-hmm. They hit the New Beverly, and I literally one night I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was convinced that they were going to come into my apartment. I live on the 3rd floor up here. It would be a job. You would need like ladders and hooks, like out of a medieval combat situation to get up here, but I was convinced that they were coming, and of course it was like that middle of the night wake up, but I had a full on, and I was watching the news every day.
Yeah,
and I was glued to it.
We all were,
and then I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm obviously oversaturated myself.
See, I
woke up to the pandemic breakdown, like, how many more infections, how many more cases, like, every day.
Yeah, who's died, like, how many fucking morgue trucks are in New York, like, it was...
Yeah, I was watching videos of, like, the morgue's trucks, and, oh my god, the morgue trucks, that was fucked up.
Yeah. And
the AC broke in the morgue trucks.
Like,
that's fucked up.
Like, Jesus Christ. See, then it's like, oh my god, I don't even need horror movies, it's all in front of me, but no, I need it. I mean, I also...
but as you said before, and I love that the blood splatter and like Leatherface, it's fun. It's, you know, it's not the news.
It's not the news. It's got one foot in reality and the other in
art.
And just nasty creative art.
Yeah, what was it? Your line from before, the creative.
Unbridled, depraved creativity.
Unbridled, depraved creativity. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not just watching the raw reality. There's the artifice, the magic, the film magic, or the creative magic is there.
Oh, I totally forgot.
That way you can swallow the lesson. I
totally forgot. I got to bring some of my dreams to life on my horror journey. I was in an adults only haunted house for a couple of years in Atlanta.
What is that?
Well, it's no longer open. I think it went for about 10 years. It was called Chambers of Horror. And by adults only, I mean you have to be 18 to enter because of the things that we did. It was very hostile. It was very torture victim. We had we called it the bath salts room, and it's somebody, you know, eating the face of like a cop dummy. And
whoa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it's closed. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I only got to do it for about 3 years, but I got to be very creative.
So
and
you were like working with them.
Yeah, I was one of the actors.
What's your job title? You were an actor.
Well,
Haunted house actor.
Haunted house actor, but the role I was most famous for. How graphic can I get?
Go ahead.
Okay. I was the dick biter.
Oh wow.
So they, this is inevitably part of my journey, but...
People named Richard, or are you talking about...
I'm talking about, if only.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Again, depraved creativity. Just getting to go fucking crazy.
Wow, Amy.
Well, I didn't have to learn any fucking lines. I just did that. Freaked people out. And, well, what had happened was, so, you audition, show them,
Okay.
you can scream and everything.
Right.
Can you do this? Comfortable with that?
You got the chops.
And very first day, they put me in a room and they said, all right, Amy, you're torturing Chad. You're going to cut his dick off with whatever weapons you want. And he's got this harness on. So when I'm holding the end of a dildo, pretend to cut it. And he's got the dick stump harness that is hooked up to a tank of water.
Oh my goodness.
So he pulls like this lever and you get sprayed with the dick stump.
Wow.
Now, the only issue I took...
am so sad I missed this.
Oh, man. I've got some pictures. You can see what it looked like. Yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah.
They're not allowed to be on Facebook, but...
yeah, got it.
I come in and it's like, okay, cut it off, great. I just thought that the weapons looked really fake, plastic, clunky. And so I said, question, can I bite it off? And they said, oh, well, that's fucked up and nobody's ever done that before. Yeah, let's give it a try.
You're hired.
You're hired. And so at first, just come in. The key is, much like in Tokyo Gore Police, it's the spit out afterwards.
Oh, yeah. That sells it. Right?
Yeah. See, what you do is people come in, I'm holding it up, and at first, it would look like I was going down on him, and then I would bite it. But after doing that for like 2 weeks, one Sunday I got word that it's like, hey, the people that actually like own the building, they are not comfortable with the simulated fellatio. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's what was too far?
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, the biting's okay? He's like, oh yeah, they're fine with that. And I did not question this. I said,
Doesn't
okay.
that kind of like sum up the censorship here in the U.S.?
Oh yeah, that's just the state of the world that we're in.
Yeah, like gore's fine, but the sex is too
yeah,
far.
yeah. Oh no, nothing sexual. What kind of people do you think we are?
Sure, you can chop his penis off and spread the blood everywhere. It's fine, but
yeah, but that was my thing. I did not get any dates that season. I can tell you that.
But you had a gig.
I had a gig, and I got to make it my own
gig.
Well, and I just thought, what would be the most fucked up thing to do? Like, this is a haunted house.
Yeah,
they're giving us creative liberties, so fuck it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
You went for it.
I did.
You can take that with you.
Forever.
Take that severed dick with you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate your comfort.
Oh, you're welcome.
To talk about that.
Wow,
what a cool thing though to be able to be part of. Like, it's kind of like being part of a theater troupe or something. Huh?
Oh, it really is.
You
it's
guys
like
all be buddy. You guys were all buddies and stuff. I imagine?
Yeah. I mean,
did you hang out after?
We did.
Watch scary movies and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a little like it's like a theater troupe and it's like a camp, like kind of put together. But I will say that haunted houses definitely attract some interesting people. Like, you meet some very cool, interesting, and then some like
scary, interesting,
or just like weird, interesting. Like this one guy who he had these like kind of steampunk goggles on his head all the time. Never took them off, even when he was in character or whatever. And that's why we called him Goggles. And he was an interesting one.
This is one of the co-performers?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was set up, like walking through like a warehouse. And,
Okay, so everyone had their like area.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
your room.
Oh yeah, I had my spot. Mine was the dick room.
Yeah.
And then there's the electrocution room.
Mm-hmm.
And and then just random people jumping out. But be careful because people will punch you in the face.
Wow.
Not me though. They just ran away, and it was
Nice.
very smugly satisfying.
You're like, no one's punching me.
No one's punching me. They can't wait to get away, which means I did my job.
You stuck your marks.
Yeah, it's like you had to sign a waiver. Let's show you something nutty.
Yeah, man, that's so cool. I really
Yeah.
wish I could have witnessed that, been part of that.
I'm kind of glad that my girlfriends chose not to. I'm glad. I want them to be able to look me in the face.
Yeah.
I would like to retain them as friends. So,
Did your parents go through it?
fuck no. Dear
Hey, Dad,
Lord.
we're working on a new project.
I mean, they were both, and they were both being parents. Like, oh, we'll come through and
Like
see
supportive, yeah.
I'm like, please, if you want to support me, don't come and see it.
You just support me from afar.
Just know I'm having fun.
I'm using my creative
I'm learning a lot.
attributes. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
you got the book coming, you got the podcast. Is there anything else you got cooking that you want to talk about?
Oh gosh, I guess that's about it.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's living that horror lifestyle, and it just
Yeah.
it's my sole purpose.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Well, that and retaining Simpsons trivia, but
Nice.
you can have two purposes.
You can have a lot. Yeah. It all fits. And there's the House of Horror episodes, the Tree House of Horror episodes.
Oh
Are they
my
your
god,
favorites,
I
probably?
love them so much.
What's your favorite one?
Probably, and I know it's
I
cheesy,
think I've seen
but
them all, but...
I love the Mr. Burns Dracula one.
Oh, yeah, that one's great.
I love
I
that
love
he-
Mr. Burns.
I love Mr. Burns.
He's such a great character.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
Smithies.
That was good. Fuck, man.
Thank you. Practice in the shower.
Good. It's the best place to practice. That's the only place I sing outside of the car.
Nice.
Yeah.
Acoustics are good in there.
Yeah, they're very flattering.
Plus the hot water opens up the pipes, gets everything flowing. Gets the blood pumping.
Nobody's looking at you like,
Yeah, no
Amy,
one's
why
there.
aren't you singing karaoke? No!
I feel
Oh.
like if I had a little microphone in there, I would have like all the material I need.
A little waterproof microphone.
Little waterproof mic in there.
Get a little disco ball.
Okay, well, I guess in closing, I want to ask you, what's like the newest horror movie that's really like been like, yeah, like you can't wait to tell everyone, something maybe that's come out in 24, or maybe 23. What's like the last year or so? What's really getting you?
Gosh.
That really rocked you, that you loved.
Oh gosh, just in the last something that came out.
Yeah, something that
or
came
something
out.
that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw. Okay,
I know. That's a tough one.
that's a tough call. Although I did enjoy
Yeah.
the fuck out of Abigail.
Oh, me too.
I was not. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's
Yeah,
just some
I love-
really good, silly fun.
Yes.
And
so fun.
Yeah.
And a great ensemble cast.
And they actually used a shit ton of fake blood.
Oh yeah, speaking of, how many gallons?
Oh, it was a lot. It was a lot.
yeah.
It was like in the thousands how much they used. They had fucking blood cannons.
Those directors are great.
They are. They are.
They're batting
And
100 in my mind.
And I hope Abigail did well enough to warrant give them our money.
Yeah, actually, I meant to look at the numbers. I'm not sure. I think its budget was very reasonable. So some of these movies like that aren't doing well are just like hundred plus million. But
Yeah,
it's like if you don't have a monster opening weekend, it's written off.
Yeah.
But I think it did pretty well.
Yes, good.
yeah, I
Because
don't
we
know.
need more of that spirit.
I know that kind of. I like things in that kind of budget range. It's like small to mid, a little more personable. It kind of feels like a play.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
you don't have to go too over the top with it. Unless that's your thing. Unless that's, you're doing the splatter Japan thing.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. No, but it, like you said, it had the blood. And what a cool kind of thing, like, take all these scary, nasty, bad people that are all doing a job for money, and then put this in this contained space with a little ballerina girl. Mm-hmm. What a good hook. Like, kidnap a rich guy's little daughter who's a ballerina for ransom. Turns out she's a vampire.
Yay!
And she's actually been alive for a long time, and she's, like, playing them all for fools. It's such a good hook.
It is.
Well executed. I really liked it.
I also enjoy vampire movies when they're done right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I find Twilight offensive.
I haven't seen those.
Deeply offensive.
Okay. I won't watch them.
Yes.
Ever. Yeah, I kind of wasn't running towards them. What's your favorite vampire movie?
Ooh, probably Near Dark.
Oh, I love that one.
So
good.
Love it so hard. It is...
Great film.
I mean, you've got your, a chunk of the Aliens crew together again.
Yes, right.
Yeah, like year after Aliens.
R.I.P. Bill Paxton.
Oh my God, Bill Paxton.
I still haven't come to terms with the fact that we lost him.
He's one of those actors that it's like my brain refuses to remember he's gone. I have to keep remembering.
I know, he still feels so here. I mean, I watch a movie with him all the time,
Well, he was also stolen from us.
He was.
Yeah, doctors fucked up and took him from us.
Yeah, what was it? Heart surgery? He went under?
Yeah.
He was 61 years old. He was in a career high. He was in, like, a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh.
Anyway.
But yeah, he will always be
a legend.
What a legend. And, like, one of the sexiest vampires ever. Him as Severin. Just that, oh, my God. He is just...
I'm straight, and he still was hitting notes.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how you know.
I mean, the horror trivia team, we as a group costume last Halloween, we did Near Dark, and I was Severin.
Cool.
And I swear, just getting in the costume, you feel like you have a big dick. I'm telling you, it gives you, like, you feel the Bill Paxton swagger.
Oh, my God.
It gives you a different walk.
That is so good. Oh, my God. Amy, I let's end on that, because that's...
Yeah, I don't know if I can top that.
We can't. Nobody can. In fact, this is the last episode of the show, because that's the best it's going to get.
You're welcome.
Amy Drolet, legend, horror buff, cinephile, writer, podcaster, and my friend. So good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
So
this has been such a goddamn delight.
Oh, it's been lovely. Thank you for carving out some time to hang with me here at the Plex. Take care.